Hey everybody, sorry for the late arrival. I almost fell asleep on the couch, so I was late getting ready. So apologies on that. I think I'm about a few seconds late or so. Hey Darren. Hey Daniel, if you're still in here, you say Angel is great here, but the cast is too naive and sleazy this time around. I could see that. But uh, I guess the cast for me was enough likable that I enjoyed it. Because you did have kind of I don't know. I feel like you had some good kids or good young people, I should say, this time around. Hey, Super Batman nerd. Now, I will say that I attempted to invite some special guests to um, to join us tonight, including Miss Pamela Springsteen, but I didn't really um, expect that she would come on here. I mean, Dead Pit asked her, she didn't, and I'm sure I'm not the first or second or 10th or 100th or whatever person that has asked her to do anything Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 related. I did invite the director, Michael A. Simpson, to come on here. I also um, invited Jill Terashita, Tracy Griffith, Kim Wall, who plays Cindy in the film, Daryl Wilcher, Haynes Brook. I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that I left out. All the people that I could find some kind of contact information, either through Facebook or otherwise, to be able to contact them, I did. Um, Unfortunately, Michael J. Pollard, you can't contact him because Michael J. Pollard has unfortunately passed away. Now, I'm not saying that none of these people will show up during the watch along. But I fully don't expect it. I would be very shocked if at this point, because I have not heard anything from any of them. It could be possible that they're not really um, on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything like that very much, or maybe they're just not interested in that, or maybe they're too busy. um, I don't think any of them saw my messages. So um, I guess the takeaway is don't hold your breath on that, but I did try. And in the future, I'm going to try contacting some people that I'd like to invite to these watch alongs earlier instead of, merely waiting till the last minute to do that, because I probably have better luck with these types of things if I would. And guys, I'm sorry if I'm waving these flies away, but I cleaned the guinea pig enclosure today, and when I clean it, it stirs these fruit flies up insanely for a few days. So, hence, their I hate to say it, but their food source has been taken away because I cleaned everything up in there. And so they're coming out more so to other areas of the house until such time as they're going to either be caught by any traps that we've got around here. We kill them ourselves with sprays or a fly swatter or, whatever. It's just going to take them a few days to kind of, dissipate, I guess, because that's what happens every time. They start to get amped up, and then I go and clean an enclosure, and then they go wild. They just are, it seems like they're everywhere. And then they'll go away again. Um, but anyway, I'll try not to complain about the flies too awfully much. Uh, hey, X-Ray, you say Michael J. Pollard's love scene in this is something that no one asked for. Super Batman Nerd, you say, I thought I overslept earlier too. Yeah, I was just this close to falling asleep on the couch. I was trying to watch a Cronenberg film for Camp Cronenberg tomorrow night. And it wasn't that the film was boring. It's just, like I say about myself, I fall asleep at the drop of a hat nowadays. I bet he didn't mind it though either, X-Ray, to be honest. Evidently, Michael J. Pollard was a character. So, um, I am going to try to get mine. Um, I'm going to try to get my copy queued up here. Just give me just 1 second. All right. So I've got that pause on the MGM line again. All right. So one thing I am going to do is step over here and turn on my little astronaut light. Again, I know probably not a lot of people are going to be paying attention to whether I got this light on or not, but I just for ambiance. And I would like to close that sliding door, but it just gets way under too hot in here. So I'm gonna try to keep it open a little bit. Actually, you say I always thought it was a weird his character in House of a Thousand Corpses just kind of vanished in the gas station intro. In the original script, one of the robbers blew his head off. Yeah, I actually kind of thought that was a little odd too, X-Ray, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe something else was going on there that prevented him from finishing that. I guess that scene or something. Perhaps somebody else might know about that. Somebody that I'm not seeing in here. I mean, we've got 7 people, but I'm not seeing Blissful in here. Oh, yes, that would be a great idea, X-Ray. Michael J. Pollard night. Hey, Russell, welcome. You say X-Ray Michael is good in Bonnie and Clyde. I think Bonnie and Clyde is one of those movies that I have not, I've heard a lot about it, but I have not seen it yet. Oh, that's right, X-Ray. You say he was good in For the Apocalypse. But again, I'm probably going to end up taking my hat off because although it was a little cooler today than it has been in previous days, it's still pretty daggone hot back here in this in the back room where we have our computers and all that. Yes, Super Batman Nerd, you say he was also in Scrooge? So very well, we could have Michael J. Pollard night and talk about Michael J. Pollard movies, and that would definitely give me an excuse, as if I need one, to watch Bonnie and Clyde. Oh goodness, I am so sorry, guys. Just I'm drinking this energy drink in an attempt to try to get more weight. That's right, Darren. American Gothic is another good one he was in. That movie is a good horror movie. It's just very, very bizarre. And it does have the girl from Meatballs that gets with Crockett. And Meatballs is an amusing movie of comedy, but American Gothic is yeah, just straight ahead horror movie pretty much. And she um that character plays or that actress plays a character who, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Who is very disturbed because her baby was accidentally drowned in the bathtub. Very disturbing scene in that too. And it's told like through a flashback because when we begin the movie, the husband is checking her out of a mental hospital where she had to go after the death of the child. But through flashbacks, we see that she has put the baby um, in the bathtub and has gotten a phone call. And some people might say, "Oh my God, why would you leave your baby in the bathtub while you go take a phone call?" And the only thing I can think of, it was one of those split second things where they were thinking, "I'll take this phone call, I'll be right back." And the unthinkable ends up happening. But that is very disturbing. I will say that those flashback scenes are more disturbing than anything else in that movie. You say Scrooge actually Russell? Yeah, I was thinking that's what Super Batman Nerd meant. Hey, Blair. Blair said he was in Roxanne. Ooh, Super Batman Nerd. You say you just heard of the 4K release of Night of the Demons. So excited. Well, that makes me excited too because I've been looking forward to that. Hey, Blissful. Um, Blair, I'm trying to think. He may have been. I just can't remember right now. Ooh. Russell, you say, Darren, it is a Canadian movie like me. And Russell, well, we welcome anybody, but it's good to have a Canadian in here as well. Um, and also, I'm a big fan of Canadian horror and some Canadian comedy films as well. Yeah, I agree with Darren Russell that some great slashers come out of Canada. I'm doing good, Blissful, except I'm feeling a little sleepy. I was telling everybody I was like a few seconds late to this stream because I was trying to watch a movie, Dead Ringers, for Camp Cronenberg last night, or try to refresh myself on that movie. And not because it was boring, but just because I'm just wiped out today for some odd reason. Um, I was just nodding off back there. Yes, Black Christmas was technically it was Canadian, Blair. Russell, you say in Night of the Demons, Angela's cross earrings are the right way when normal and upside down when a demon. I guess I never really paid attention to that, Russell, but good eye. Okay, so I don't really have anything to talk about during the Daily Grindhouse, so that's going to be next tonight. However, I do have the watch alongs lined up till the end of February. So um, if CK shows up, then oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do to get woke up. I just keep yawning and yawning and yawning. perhaps it's a blood sugar thing. I may have to go grab an ice cream or something like that if I keep doing this, because this is usually normal for me to keep yawning like this unless it is blood sugar related, which, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go grab an ice cream and I will be right back, guys and gals. I'm assuming Blissful by you say definitely do that, Dana, that you're saying go get some ice cream, which I do have the ice cream here now. Hopefully this is going to make me feel better. Blissful, everybody must be sleepy today. It's just one of those lazy Sundays, I guess. Blissful said, I took a nap and slept through my alarm. Super Batman Nerd, you say October going to be busy. The Exorcist 4K, Hellraiser 1 through 4 4K, and Night of the Demons. Yes, sir. Okay. So as I eat my ice cream, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to go through these upcoming watch alongs for everybody. Ooh, Super Batman Nerd, you had to work overnight. That's great, Russell. 66 years old, and you're a horror maniac. I hope I can still say that when I'm 66. I'm 47 now. So, this is our last watch along of July. So, moving into August, August 5th. Hey, Dirk, will be my first ever, or the start of my first ever, two-part watch along, and that's going to be for Stephen King's Salem's Lot, directed by the late great Toby Hooper. So August 5th will be part one. That'll be next Saturday, followed on Sunday, August 6th, with part two of Salem's Lot. August 12th will be the insanely awesome, in my opinion, Terror on Tour. A lot of people don't like it. But hopefully I can make this enjoyable for you guys for this watch along. I am trying to get both CK and Uncle Bill on here with me because they both absolutely hate this movie. And I just think it would be hilarious for them to be on this watch along with me. Plus anybody else that wants to join us. So August 13th will be Almost Famous, what many refer to as either the greatest rock movie or the greatest music movie ever made. Almost Famous. August 19th will be the original Pet Sematary. August 20th, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. August 26th, the original Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma. Hey, TJ. Hey, Brian King. August 27th will be Mystic Pizza. And again, I'm still going to try to get me a frozen Mystic Pizza that I am going to cook from the local Whole Foods here in Louisville, so I can have a piece or two during the watch along. Okay. Moving on into September. September 2nd, Phantasm. September 3rd, Stand By Me. September 9th, Body Bag. September 10th, Private School. September 16th, Children of the Corn. September 17th, The Breakfast Club. September 23rd, Cujo. September 24th, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Watch out, guys. September 30th is going to be the original 1978 exploitation classic, I Spit on Your Grave. October 1st, Dead and Buried. October 7th, Hell Night. October 8th, Fatal Attraction. October 14th, House by the Cemetery. October 15th, Flashback starring Dennis Hopper and Kiefer Sutherland. October 21st, Dressed to Kill. October 22nd, Howard the Duck. October 28th, the 1978 horror classic directed by John Carpenter, Halloween. October 29th, Halloween H2O. November 4th, Rocky Horror Picture Show. November 5th, Forrest Gump. November 11th, the original Maniac starring Joe Spinell. November 12th, Blues Brothers. November 18th, Home Sweet Home. November 19th, Home for the Holidays. November 25th, Misery. November 26th, the Beatles themed I Want to Hold Your Hand. December 2nd, Psycho. December 3rd, be sure to bring your tissues, everybody, because we're going to be watching Mask starring Eric Stoltz and Cher. December 9th, Silver Bullet. December 10th, It's a Wonderful Life. Now, you guys, it will be up to you to decide whether you want to either watch the original black and white version or the colorized version. Myself, I'm going to watch the original black and white version. December 16th, Silent Night, Deadly Night. December 17th, A Christmas Story. December 23rd, that weekend we will be only having one watch along because December 24th is Sunday. That is Christmas Eve. I will be spending time with my family that night, as I'm sure many, if not all of you, will be doing. So December 23rd is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. December 30th, Bloody New Year. December 31st, Terror Train. Moving on to 2024, we've got January and February blocked out here. January 6th, Blood Cult. January 7th, Just One of the Guys. January 13th, Intruder. January 14th, Bob Clark's Porky's. January 20th, Lisa. January 21st, Pretty Woman. January 27th, The Nest. January 28th, The Wedding Singer. February 3rd, Reanimator. February 4th, Roadhouse starring Patrick Swayze. February 10th, My Bloody Valentine. I can't even talk. February 11th, My Girl. February 17th, Motel Hell. February 18th, Groundhog Day. February 24th, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. And February 25th will be the Clint Eastwood vehicle Play Misty for Me. So that's a lot of movies we got coming up to do watch-alongs for, and I hope you guys can join me for each and every one of those, or as many as you can. So let me go back, and it looks like the chat is burning up here. Yeah, I agree with Blissful Super Batman Nerd that is a hard shift. Brian's bringing roses for me and for Blissful. So thank you, Brian. Well, summer is almost over, isn't it, TJ? I'm eagerly anticipating fall weather and fall movies and Halloween and all that stuff. Oh, I hate to hear that, Brian. You said this summer has been a huge waste for me, stupid foot. Russell, you say you're going to be 67 on August 5th. Oh, well, you know what you can do to celebrate that birthday, Russell, or part of the way you can celebrate, you can be here for the first part of the Salem's Lot watch along. Bliss, what you say? TJ, I can't wait for autumn so my wardrobe can start making sense. I haven't tried to get the pizza yet, TJ. I guess I probably should do a test run and see if I even like it, shouldn't I? I just haven't done it yet. TJ says, I always wear black, blissful, all seasons color, LOL. Hey, Unseen. Brian, you say, I just want to stand at my forge and swing my hammer on some 1800-degree high carbon steel before the snow flies. Sounds like a plan to me. TJ, you say, I wear black and suck up all the heat from the winter. Or for the winter, rather. Yeah, TJ's an energy saver, Blissful. Blair, I agree. Bob Clark's career was all over the place in genres, but pretty much everything he did, I think, was golden. At least in my opinion. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, awesome lineup. And Russell says, will do, Chit. TJ says, yes, Blair, I'd rather be known as a director and not get pigeonholed as a such and such director. Blissful says she's anticipating Boots. Blair, you say, in classics too, Black Christmas, Porky's, and A Christmas Story. Yeah, I'm actually doing two of those. I did Black Christmas watch along last year, but I'm doing both Porky's and A Christmas Story, upcoming. Okay. So we got 13 people in here. For the benefit of those that weren't in here earlier when I was telling the story, it's probably my own fault that I didn't get a response and that nobody that I invited showed up. Because I always wait till the last minute with stuff like that. But for future watch alongs or streams where I want to invite special guests or a special guest or several special guests, I'll try to do it either a few weeks or a month ahead of time. However, I did attempt to invite several guests to be live on the stream with me that have a connection with tonight's movie. And so I invited Michael A. Simpson, the director. I hoped against hope, but I didn't really expect to hear anything or to see Pamela Springsteen in here because she doesn't talk to anybody about those movies. Dead Pit asked her, God knows how many other people have asked her to be on streams or podcasts or whatever to talk about these movies, and she just flat out is not interested. But so I did invite her. I invited Jill Terashita. I invited Kim Wall, Tracy Griffin, Haynes Brooke, who plays Bobby in the film, Daryl Wilter, who plays Riff. And needless to say, I don't see any of them here. I don't even think they saw my messages. I contacted many of them through Facebook. I contacted basically everybody that I could get some contact information of some kind for. But again, I place the blame mostly on myself that those people did not respond or are not here because I don't know how busy these people are. And, they may, it might be like the Felissa Rose thing. They may see it too late. They may see it the next day or whatever. So for future reference, I am going to anybody that I'm thinking of having as a special guest on any of my streams, not just watch alongs, but any other themed watch alongs. I will try to do it a few weeks or a month ahead of time. That way they can check their schedule and see if they're available and all of that good stuff. Plus, they might have thought, who the hell is this person? I'm not answering this person. This person could be a weirdo or something. Oh. Um, Russell, you say Maniac is my fave. Did you know Joe Spinell helped to finance Stallone's Rocky? I think I did hear that, Russell. I think, Joe Spinell was a character, but I get the feeling that he had a heart and he wanted to help people out. And if you were a friend of Joe Spinell's, you were a friend for life. And he would do basically anything for you. Brian, you say I don't even have any customers lined up to forge knives or swords for Christmas because of my daggone foot. Well, Brian, I tell you, what I'm hoping is that you will get some customers and be able to do this because it sounds like it's not only a way to make some money, but it sounds like it's a passion for you as well. Thank you, Blissful. You say at least you tried, Dana. That's great. Thank you, TJ. TJ, you say props for even trying to contact them out of the blue. More guts than I have. Well, I was kind of nervous, like at the thought of what if they all show up? Not Pamela Springsteen, but all the others, basically. I'd probably crap my pants if Pamela Springsteen showed up. Um, Brian, you say reach out to Lance Henriksen, see if he will be a guest. He isn't getting any younger and has been more about his fans. That's a good idea, Brian. Russell, you say Videodrome, Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis, Shivers, The Brood, Nightbreed, and Rabid. Yes, sir. Blissful, you say I made friends with promoters and then networked, and that might be the way to go too. I guess I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do things. I just always try to do stuff kind of like the mom and pop way, the old fashioned way. There's nothing wrong with doing it the way that you did it. That's very admirable as well. But I and I'm not saying this because I don't respect the Dead Pit Boys or anything, but I had been told by them early on that I could, do like Steve does and do streams through the Dead Pit umbrella, so to speak. And I was internally grateful to them. And I'm still grateful for them for any support I get and promotion I get. However, I think I told CK and I also told Steve that I just want to do it on my own. And I think everybody respects that. But at the same time, I'm very grateful for them for the offers. And they basically let me Dead Pit lets me come on anytime I want to. Like if there's a watch along they're doing that I'm interested in, and I say, hey, would you guys mind if I came on for such and such watch along? And they never turn me down for it ever. Um, and like Uncle Bill's tour of Italy, he wanted as many people as we could possibly get on there uh without breaking StreamYard and breaking YouTube and all that stuff. um he's like, yeah, come on, whichever ones you want to do. And Blissful, you said that's admirable. Well, I appreciate that. Russell, you say anybody see the trailer for Saw X? I kind of like it. Some good traps. Tobin Bell as Jigsaw. I have not, Russell. I guess I've kind of heard two schools of thought on it. Some people, like it. Some people hate it. As far as the trailer is concerned. Uh, I don't know. Me personally, I have nothing against anybody that wants to see the Saw movies this late in the game. and I'm not saying this late in the game to be offensive. I'm just saying, um, I just Saw was one of those things for me where the first movie could have been a one and done, and I would have been perfectly happy with it. Me personally, I feel like that series has went on way too long, but hey, if you like it, you like it. And, I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody that wants to, watch Saws or anything. Like, hey, I've watched all the Friday 13 films, the good, the bad, and the shitty with those. So I can't talk about anybody watching other franchises. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Russell, you say at least there's no Crystal Rock. TJ, you say, by the way, yeah, try asking a few weeks in advance. Also, sometimes it's who you know that helps get the foot in the door. Think of it as a job reference. Again, I'm not brave enough for that either. LOL. No, but I mean, that's very good suggestions, TJ, and I appreciate that. Any, suggestions that people can give me that they think would help me along the way, I'm all for it. So thank you so much. Russell, that's a good way to be. You just don't care what people think anymore. My mom always said, I've gotten to the age, and my mom is in her 60s now. Um, I'm 47, and her and my dad will be 67 in October. My mom and dad, I always like to tell this story because my mom and dad were born 3 days apart in the same year. So I always kid them that they were meant to get married, being born that close together. Um, my dad's my dad's birthday is on October 15th, and my mom's birthday is October 18th. So they get to celebrate their birthdays pretty close together. But my mom said as she got older, she got where she didn't care what people thought either. And it is so refreshing, Russell, to not have to care what people think. I'm still in some kind of middle ground where I still somewhat care what people think, but hopefully I will move on to where I just don't give a shit anymore. TJ Blissful's asking, is there anywhere where she can watch your movies? And that's cool, Russell. You say you have them all on DVD. Big fan. Brian says, I only like the first Saw, but to each their own. Brian, you also said some people think I'm nuts for liking the Sharknadoes. Now, you know what, Brian? I watched the first Sharknado again recently on Joe Bob's The Last Drive-In, and I actually liked it this time around. But I don't think I've seen the rest of them, so maybe I just need to give those a watch as well. Leslie, you say you're a wimp. I couldn't watch the Saw movies. Mm, no, give yourself a bet, Blissful. You might be able to. A Super Batman nerd, you say, I only like Saw 6 just for the music videos. Hey, caveman. You say, hey, everyone, can't stay, but wanted to say hello, and I hope everyone is doing well and had a great weekend. I did have a great weekend, caveman, and definitely thank you for stopping by. Just, even if it's just to say, hey, I really appreciate it. But I did have a great weekend, partly because Steve and I celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary kind of early. Steve took me to Olive Garden, and he also got me a beautiful necklace. That is something I should have showed on the Daily Grindhouse. Perhaps I'll show it tomorrow. I don't want to take any more time where I have to walk back to the bedroom and get the necklace, but I will plan on showing it before we do Camp Cronenberg tomorrow night. So thanks for stopping by, K-Man, and hopefully you can stop by again, and we'll see if we can get you to be able to stay longer. Thank you, TJ. TJ says, happy 10 to you and Steve. Oh, thank you, K-Man. You say happy anniversary. All right. So now that I've got all that babbling out of the way, well, we got 18 people in here. I want to go ahead and get this movie started here shortly. Thank you, Blissful. I'm assuming Blissful saw it on Facebook. I did have a picture of it on Facebook. Steve did an excellent job. I had no part in him picking that out. I didn't even know he was getting it for me. It was a real big surprise. Thank you, Darren. Darren says, awesome. Happy anniversary. I also wanted to say that there will be a new Eurocult show forthcoming that Steve and I and Darren and Dirk recorded today for Rogero Diodato's body count. It was a fun one, so you guys can, that listen to Eurocult through, I believe it's Dead Pit's Patreon. You can all look forward to that upcoming. Yeah, he certainly does. I don't think he thinks he does, Blissful, but he certainly does. So, a little bit about what's coming up this week, or what I'm planning on coming up this week, and then we're going to get started with this movie. Sorry, guys and gals. Okay. So tomorrow night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, will be another edition of Camp Cronenberg. And hold on here. And I'm going to attempt to find copies of all these movies so I can either watch them or refresh myself. Now, Dead Ringers from 1988 was what I was watching or rewatching just a little bit before I came on here. But Dead Ringers, Naked Lunch, M. Butterfly, and Crash is what I'm going to be covering tomorrow night. Again, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Body Count definitely was, it's always a fun watch for me, Darren. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. And it sounded like Dirk did as well. Hey, John. John says the best sleepaway camp. Hello, everyone. And Russell says, in the start of Saw 2, I seen Operation in the video. I knew right away it was Dr. Gordon Jigsaw. It's not a doctor. So Tuesday night, I'm planning on doing non-horror Stephen King adaptations. So we're going to be talking about Sleepaway Camp. Good Lord. I got Sleepaway Camp on the brain. Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, all of that stuff. So that should make for an interesting stream, I think. Yes, Wes. I did do one with you guys, with you and Uncle Bill. But I don't know. I get I don't know if I'm a glutton for punishment or what. Not that this is a bad movie. It's a fun movie. But yeah, I wanted to do my own version, which by the way, CK, if you're not busy, you could certainly come on here, and anybody else that wants to come on here with me. And if Uncle Bill comes on here, he's welcome to. John, you say, Darren, I love both. Can't go wrong with Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. Okay. So then Wednesday barring anything happening, TJ and I will return once again to talk about the first 10 episodes of the second season of Friday 13th, the series. So look forward to that. I'm not sure about Thursday, what or if I will be doing anything, and I can hear you guys now. You're probably saying, "Yeah, right, Dana. You're going to be doing something." So Stay tuned for all of that stuff that I mentioned. Plus, you never know about Thursday. And I have been doing these Friday surprise streams through the day when I get off from work early. So might get one of those again. Darren, you say, yeah, 3 is definitely fun. TJ, you say, I'll be there, LOL. So you burn out on it right now, Wes. You say I would, but we already did it, so LOL. Well, I don't know. This might be a dud, but I'm gonna try to attempt to be a little unique with it. Even though the one I did with you guys were great on it. I don't know if I was so hot, but but you guys were great. But I'm going to attempt to do a passable job with this one tonight. Well, first of all, Steve doesn't have any anal gerbils, but even if he did, I wouldn't be having them on the stream. Okay. No, I think the next time I show any of my exotic animals, like my iguana or something like that, I would just take my phone, get on StreamYard, go back to that back room and show off the animals back there. All right. So let me scroll back up here because I'm going to star both the link to watch Sleepaway Camp 3 on Tubi in case you don't have your own copy. I do have the this is the Screen Factory release on Blu-ray, and I have that version queued up 11 seconds in. The MGM line is getting ready to roar, just about like we did last night. Also, if anybody wants to join me live on the stream for this at any point in time, I do have the link, the StreamYard link in the chat. I can put it back in there if it gets lost in the chat. Just let me know at any point in time. If you decide later you want to, somebody comes in later and decides they want to join in live on the stream, barring it not being 30 seconds before the stream or the movie's over, you are more than welcome to hop on. Let's see. Rosa, you say saw Society for the first time and it is so bleeding funny. Ass man, exactly. What did she say? He has them. They're just buried in his ass. Oh Lord. Dang, John. I don't know if I am watching the. Hold on a second. I don't know. My Screen Factory says there's a deleted gore footage, but I can't remember if this version has got that stuff in the film or not. So I'm not sure. Let's see. This is an hour and 19 minutes, John. I don't know if that tells anybody anything or not. Blissful, you say, I'll be listening. I'm having meatball issues. Are you cooking meatballs, Blissful? Oh, well, I'm dropping. Okay, well, maybe I need to do that. Hold on just 1 second here. Hold on. I'm guessing maybe that's the hour 24 48-second version. Let's see. Hold on here. Yeah, here we go. I had forgotten that that was part of this. Okay, I'm just trying to get it. All right, so I've got this 32 seconds in on the work print version. Okay, so if any of you, now if you're watching the Tubi version, that's more than likely not going to be the work print version. So you may be going a little bit faster than I am with a few minutes of extra footage in here. Um, and if you are watching from a Blu-ray or a DVD and you're watching this work print version, keep in mind it's going to be a little rough. But as John says, it's the best way to watch it, and I would have to agree with him. So you say you're trying to make some meatballs. They have attitude. Yeah, sometimes your food does have attitude. John says, "Hell yeah! Wait until you get to the flagpost scene. It's absolutely insane, uncut." TJ says, "Who the heck has the work print?" Ha ha, kidding. Okay, so I just want to ask again before we get this started and do the 3, 2, 1. Is there anybody that's in here right now that wants to join me live on the stream? This fly's driving me crazy. Again, you don't have to decide now. If you decide later and can't find the link in the chat, I can definitely, you know what? I'll be nice. I'll put it back in here. That way you guys don't have to go sifting through to find it. There we go. All right. So we'll go ahead and get this party started here with what on my side is going to be the work print version. Thanks again, John, for the reminder of Sleepaway Camp 3. So, like I said, I'm 32 seconds in on that. It's showing Maria, the real Maria's duffel bag and shoes, and looks like panties or lingerie or something there. Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, press play. That's right, John. Milkshake. Oh, that's okay, Russell. You can. Sometimes people are in here just chatting, which is perfectly cool with me. So, my take on this is that evidently Angela must have been, I don't know, stalking this girl for a while to be able to like get her hair fixed the same way, you know, in a similar style to this girl and all that. This girl also breaks the fourth wall by looking right into the camera, right about there, after you saw her boobs with milkshake tattooed on them. Oh no, Blair, you say you started watching 45 minutes ago. I thought we already queued it up. Sorry about that, Blair. TJ, you say, is this a year later or longer from part 2? I think it's supposed to be a year later because I think there's a point near the end of the film where Barney, who's the cop, who's a counselor at the camp, and it's supposed to be Sean's father. Uh, he says at one point his son was murdered at the camp last year. So uh, I'm assuming that it's supposed to be a year later. Which actually, Slumber Party, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 were pretty much filmed back to back. I always liked that first kill where she runs over Maria with the Big Mac truck. And I always used to love to pause it and slow mo it and watch the head fly off the dummy. Is so funny. John, you say I always loved the tagline. She's back to slash last year's record. I always loved that. And when she goes and she's waiting for the camp bus to come take her to camp, I love that crazy laugh and the way it goes into a song. And as the bus pulls away, you can see somebody, I'm guessing Angela maybe, has graffitied the wall behind her and it says, Angela is back. Yeah, TJ, I rent the movie for him, right? If any of you didn't know that spoiler, you know now. Haha. There we go. I just think this is, of course, and it says scene missing there. So we don't, if you're watching this version, we don't really get the full intro to the film. But the crazy laughter and the music cue starts there when the van pulls away. I do too, Super Batman. I love the music in both 2 and 3. Blitzel says TJ either giving me nightmares or ruining movies for me. Yeah, that was me this time. TJ's right. TJ says Maria had an Enigma Variations Volume 2 poster on her wall. The record company that distributed the Return of the Living Dead and Wednesday Week, What We Had albums. Oh, that's awesome, TJ. I just love TJ's trivia. So we're getting an introduction to the. Oh, well, look at that. Russell's going to join us here. Let me go ahead and add Russell. Hey, Russell. I'm not sure if Russell can hear me or not. So we're getting an introduction. I don't know if there's a delay or what. I'm gonna Russell, I took you out of the stream for just a second. I didn't know if you could hear me or there's a delay or not. Um, I can add you back. I don't mind to add you back. I just didn't know if there was anything, like I said, if there was a delay on your end or what. Just let me know if you want me to add you back. Let's see. John, you say all the kids are named after the Brady Bunch. Aren't part of them named after the Brady Bunch, and then aren't some of the others named after West Side Story characters? Yeah, I thought the underprivileged characters were named after West Side Story, and then I guess the rich kids were named after Brady Bunch. As DJ says, Maria Brady. Super Batman Nerd, you said that dude always reminds me of the kid from Seventh Heaven. TJ, you say, yes, that makes sense. Grande and Dana reading the cast list. Okay, I'm gonna try to add Russell back here. Hey Russell, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Just checking in.
Okay. Well, you stay on here as long as you want to. Um, I'm glad to have a new face on here.
Cooking some food, so I might cut off.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So now I know.
Yes, John. You're right. Two owners are Lily and Herman, a Munsters reference. We got all kinds of references in here.
So how's everything?
Good, Russell. Everything been going okay with you? Yes, John. You're right. John, you say you're a mark for this movie. Definitely its biggest fan. Okay, John, I gotta ask you something. Did I hear you right on one of your past videos or your live streams? Did I hear you wrong, or did you say Pamela Springsteen was ugly, or you didn't like her look, or something? Because I'm like, did I hear that wrong, or did he really say that? Because I was like, yeah, they made her dowdy looking, I think, for at least the second one, I know. But I'm guessing that was on purpose.
I'm a big horror fan.
That's great. I mean, I hope that when I get your age, Russell, that I'm still a big horror fan. I hope I don't do like my mom. As she got older, she kind of stopped liking the slashers and stuff like that and went more to like haunted house type of movies.
I got into horror as a 6-year-old by watching Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Oh, that's one of my husband's favorite movies.
And then Dracula.
Mm-hmm. TJ, you say now Arab's name makes more sense. Yeah, I think if you think of it in terms of the rich kids were Brady Bunch character names, the poor kids were West Side Story names because you got Snowboy, you got Arab, you got Riff, and Anita's one of the poor kids too, but I can't remember if Anita is a name from West Side Story or not. Um, and I guess Maria, of course. I tell you though, Bobby here, who's talking to Angela slash Maria, that dude's a horn dog. I tell you, like he tries to act all straight laced and stuff, but he's really, wanting to get into kinky sex. And I hope this doesn't embarrass you, Russell, at all. Me talking like this frankly about the movie. Oh, Russell might have frozen. We may lose him. Yeah, I did just lose Russell. Of course, he told me I might. Um, John, you say she looks like, yeah, I do remember you saying she looked like Shelley Duvall, but her performance is arguably my favorite ever. I love her character. I think it's so deep. Yeah, I just like, I was like, did I hear John right? No offense at all. I was kind of surprised because the thing about Pamela Springsteen is she can look really pretty sometimes. There are like, I guess they're like behind the scenes photos, still photos, and things like that. For instance, the photo I used is the promotion for Sleepaway Camp 2 last night. Um, it she looked like she had some makeup on and stuff like that. But I think for the most part in the movie itself, they wanted her to look a little more dowdy and stuff like that. I also thought she was very pretty on Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And then there was a movie that she was in that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and I haven't watched it in years, but Dixie Lanes. I think she gets topless in Dixie Lane. So if you want to see Pam Springsteen topless, you can watch that movie. Oh, okay. That's okay, Russell. I mean, perhaps maybe, sometimes my internet's better than others. Sometimes other people's internet is better than others. If you want to try again some other time, some other night or something, you are perfectly welcome to. TJ, you say, yep, Anita was West Side Story. John, you say Valerie Hartman, the Allie character from part two, is beautiful. Now, I'll tell you who I think is beautiful, and I guess Allie, Valerie Hartman, is cute. But her being so bitchy ruins anything for me as far as liking um how she looks. Um, but Renee Estevez with that boy girl next door quality is what I like. And if I was a guy, or as I said the other night or last night, if I liked women that way, that would be the kind of woman I would be going for. Would be the girl next door type. John. Um, wh- I don't know. I mean, I I don't care either way, really, because I'm, not lesbian or anything. But Uncle Bill, you say, you know what? Pamela Springsteen is one woman I don't think I want to see topless. Now, you know what? I think that is because, and maybe I'm wrong, but you guys are focusing too much on her characters from Sleepaway Camp 2 and Sleepaway Camp 3. Does anybody remember her in Fast Times at Ridgemont High playing Dina, one of the cheerleaders? I thought she was cute. Evidently, Sean Penn thought she was cute too, because I heard, like they talked about the behind the scenes stuff, that Sean Penn was just enamored of her and didn't want anybody bothering Pamela Springsteen. That was his woman. Um, so, Uncle Bill, you say, I think I'll pass. All right, you guys. I give up. Russell says, will do. Wes says, get back on there, Russell. I'm wrong about what? What am I wrong about? She is in fast food as well. And I believe fast food is another one directed um, by Michael Simpson. You where she bangs this random guy in a freezer. Is Tracy Griffith on that one as well, John? Oh, for some reason, I was thinking she was. I don't know. I think she has a unique look. Russell, you say Maureen from the Brady Bunch are born on the same year and day. Really big crush. John, you say Sean Penn was drunk when he said. TJ says she ain't asking for you guys. John, you say yes, she is. She is. She's the lead love interest. Um, Snowboy dated the Alley character from the previous movie in real life. Yeah, I got that inkling from a interview I read with him. Um, that that they spent a lot of time together, and just you look at pictures of them, you can tell they were really close. So yeah, the basic indicator for me was that they dated, and he was just Kyle Holman, who played Snowboy, was really enamored of Allie. Um, Super Batman Nerd, you said my aunt used to look like Pamela Springsteen when she was young. That's interesting. So speaking of Snowboy, here is Kyle Holman here. And everybody is, getting their camp maps, they're checking IDs. So Angela is going to try to sneak past Barney here because she knows that that is Sean's dad. And I'm guessing, frankly, she's afraid of getting busted. I must say, Barney must not be a very good cop if he can't figure out that this is Angela Baker or Angela Johnson or whatever she's going to go by. Russell, you say Bad Boys with Sean Penn is a good watch. That's right, DJ. You say so. Angela didn't know about the film crew, but she just let them record her and basically give herself away by also killing the news chick. Not too bright. Mm. So I think Sandra Dorsey, who plays Lily there, is an acting teacher now. And there's Tracy Griffith there. They're dividing all the campers up into groups. But Kim Wall, who plays Cindy is a very bitchy character on the level of Valerie Hartman's character of Allie. And I've seen interviews with Kim Wall. Um, and she's basically the sweetest person ever, or one of the sweetest people ever. And it was very hard for her to play this bitchy character. Daryl Wilcher as well, who plays Riff, he's playing a really unsavory character on here. However, he says when he first auditioned, he thought he was going to be playing the Peter Doyle character, who is the kind of comedic type of guy. But instead, he got asked to play Riff. But I think he does a really great job with that bad character. TJ, you say in the dialogue, they say there wasn't a photo of Angela since she was a kid. A lame plot hole excuse for them not recognizing her. Yeah, exactly. John, you say, I know the answer to this, but do you ever think Pam will do a convention? If she did, I'd be there. I would too, John, but sadly, I can't ever see her doing a convention. I looked at I guess it was something on Facebook or something where somebody had met Pamela Springsteen at an art gallery like in the last couple of years or so, maybe. And she basically had no interest in talk about her photography fine, but she didn't want to talk about those sleepaway camp films. She just basically said she had no interest in it. I don't know why, but I guess that's her prerogative. TJ says Marsha should die in this tease. Um, Russell, you say super. Mine look like Lucille Ball. Did you know she got her start from the Three Stooges? I did not know that, Russell. And so Barney has just told him, that his son Sean was murdered at the camp last year. And so Tony, played by Mark Oliver, was giving him a hard time. And so now Tony is trying to, make up for that. TJ, you say worst cop ever. So I love this line here where Michael J. Pollard, as Herman, says, "Where'd you learn to chop wood like that?" And Angela says, "I've never chopped wood before, but I've chopped other things." And he just kind of nods and goes on. But I'm sorry, but this whole relationship or whatever the hell you want to call it between Jan and Herman is just super cringy and super gross. No offense to Michael J. Pollard, God rest his soul, but it's just so ugh. So Jan's basically pissed off here. So good old Herman is laying on the charm here. And TJ, good point. You say Herman hitting on that blonde in front of everyone. They don't see him doing that. And right here where they're fishing, Snowboy says he's trying to get in that rich skag's pants. So everybody knows, like you say, TJ, exactly what's going on. John, that would make for an interesting story. You say I would love to hear what that actress thought of having to let him fill her up and shit. Super Batman Nerd, you say, isn't her character underage? Um, Probably so. I mean, I'm sure the real actress wasn't underage, but if you think about it in terms of how they're supposed to be in the movie, then yeah, I would say so. Yeah, here we go. But and I mean, good old Michael J. He didn't really have to have his clothes off, but she's in pretty much nothing here. Um, ugh, so cringy. Super Batman nerd, you say, I want to be like Angela and all the pedos. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, pedophiles, I probably shouldn't say it on here, but I think they deserve the worst kind of torture. Oh, TJ, you said, love the jokes about Maria and Angela's age for being a young camper. Yeah, exactly. See, Michael J., he didn't even have to get naked, which I'm sure a lot of you are profoundly grateful for that. Russell, you say Deadbeat at Dawn, a gory low budget with good effects and bad acting, but I loved it. Deadbeat at Dawn, I maybe need to wait a while and watch that one because I remember last time I watched it, Russell, I didn't much care for it. But I see what you're saying, though. It is gory, it's low budget, it's got pretty decent effects and bad acting. Um, Russell, the character of Angela, yes, was supposed to have had a sex change. Um, but she was supposed to have had that, I guess, between part one and part two. Because in part two, near the end, when Sean realizes who she is, um, she says that she had an operation. And there's Snowboy forever spray painting something, trees, signs, maps, Angela's tent. I'd want to kill that Peter Dole, though, for like freaking throwing fireworks at my feet. I mean, them are damn firecrackers. That's right, John. Party all night, teenage wasteland. That's got to be one of the greatest lines ever. Um, Russell, you say you thought so. That's something I know that Tracy Griffin's character, Marcia, is upper crust and all of that. Why in the hell is she calling the bathroom the latrine? That's a little bit too fancy. Why couldn't she just say, I gotta go to the toilet? I gotta go to the bathroom? Something. Never in any other movie have I heard anybody refer to as the toilet as a latrine. So even though I'm watching the work print version, we're already 31 minutes into the film, and this is still, with the extra stuff in there, is still only an hour and 24 minutes. So that's possible, I guess, TJ. Maybe she came from a military family, latrine. I always like this little scene here. I mean, some people might think it's a little hokey, but where Tony is, he's just like, and it turns out to be a raccoon. And I always knew that Tracy Griffin was Melanie Griffin's sister. However, I was doing some more reading like last night, and she's actually her half sister. They Melanie and Tracy don't have the same mother. Melanie's mother is Tippi Hedren, um, but I guess evidently Peter Griffith and Tippi Hedren got divorced, and he married someone else, and that's when Tracy came along. So they have the same dad but different mothers. Ah, that's a good question, John. You say, which love story did you like better, the Estevez or the Griffiths one? Um, you know, I guess I probably liked the Estevez one better. And here's why. Even though Sean got killed and they didn't really get to have any chance of continuing their relationship, and the indication is that Molly probably got killed too, the way it ended, or way part two ended. However, I still like that relationship better because um, I as good a character as Marsha is in this. She does like I hate what she does to Tony because she does all this stuff and uh, gets him to be with her intimately and all that stuff, and then at the end, and spoiler for any of you guys that haven't seen this, she's gonna, he's like, Tony's just all in love with her by the end of it. And he's like, I love you so much, babe. I'll move to Ohio. We'll get married. And she stops him. She says, Tony, she says, I kind of already have a boyfriend, but you can come visit me. I'm like, you bitch. Like, she's been nice, pretty nice the whole movie. You could get behind her. And then she does that shit to him. That is lame. I'm sorry. So that is what really pushes the Estevez relationship over this one and this one. John, you say, does Renee do cons? I know she did this and Intruder back to back. I don't know. I haven't ever seen her at any cons that I would be able to go to. Perhaps somebody else has seen where she's been at other conventions. TJ, have you ever heard of her being at any conventions? Or anybody else for that matter? I just know I haven't heard of her being at like a horror hound or a scare fest, a fright night, Days of the Dead, any of those ones that I could easily go to. I'll tell you, Lily, putting on her lipstick out in the freaking woods, making Bobby fix her coffee, and Ruth's adding a little entertainment to the morning here. And this is probably the first and last time Sandy is even remotely nice to him. She just basically, Riff, can you turn down the music? And that, I guess, is because she's half asleep. And he obliges her. He turns it down. Hey, John. So Angela is sneaking through the woods for what we don't know just yet. She's sneaking up on Arab, played by the great Jill Terashita. Jill Terashita is a beautiful looking woman too. She was also in Night of the Demons. TJ, you say not sure about Renee and cons. So Lily wants to know, what are you doing here? And she says, Herman wants me in this group. And Lily's like, he wasn't supposed to do that. He's always screwing up. And Angel's like, uh huh. So she says she's supposed to switch with somebody from this group. And it's Arab, and Arab's response is, "That's fucking great," and pours Lily's coffee out. And Lily's too lazy to do anything. She just keeps sitting there and holding out her hand for Bobby to give her another cup of coffee. Uh, John, you say it's weird. I feel like none of the Sleepaway Camp sequel actors do cons. Yeah, yeah. I don't. I haven't ever seen that, and maybe I missed something. It's certainly a possibility, but I don't ever remember seeing any of them doing conventions. Okay, here's coming up a great shot, and keep in mind if you're watching the work print version, this is going to be a little bit more gory here. Just keep your eye on that axe there. So she kicks Arab into the tent. Arab, you ain't doing nothing. Okay. So she chopped her head off and then kicks it and it rolls. That's the extra thing there. And you can see the fingers still moving, which TJ, you say, I like the realization this takes place on Saturday the 14th, even though this was starting to get tired with excessive horror movie references in a horror movie. Yeah, I like that little tidbit too. Oh, that's okay, John. You say, well, it's going to join earlier, but having some acid reflux, so nah. Annoying ass COVID. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always a next time that you can be on. I hope you get to feeling better, though, John. Yeah, I think Jill has done some cons, probably uh, mainly for Night of the Demons, I would suspect. Riff likes movies with tits and blood in them. And Cindy, like, that is one of the goofiest lines. Poor Kim Wall. She's had to say she likes ones with really great acting, like Gone with the Wind or the Care Bears. That, like, the Gone with the Wind thing might have been okay, but what in the hell, the Care Bears? And then this movie would not get made now with this dialogue, with her saying that to a black character, what she says, because she uses a word that I'm not going to use on here, because I've been told that even if you say that word and it's not used in a derogatory context, it doesn't matter. That YouTube's algorithms will pick up on that word and you could lose your whole channel over it. So, needless to say, I'm not going to use that word. But if you're watching this, you know what word I'm talking about. Johnny said the reason the MPAA cut this movie so heavy is because a woman who worked for the MPAA got sick watching the flagpole death. I did hear that. Um, that's right, Super Batman are just like us. Johnny said, I love the line after, what's your favorite color? Blood red. Yeah, they had to make sure they said blood red, not just any red. So Tony just asked um, Barney what he would do if he ever met Angel, and he says, I'd kill her. Without hesitation, he says that. Well, Barney, you better be getting on that, buddy. That's great, Russell. Russell says, girls, I got some good news and bad news. Good news is your dates are here. What's the bad news? They're dead. Night of the Creeps with Tom Atkins. That is the quintessential line in that movie, Russell. I'm going to be doing a watch along in the coming year over for Night of the Creeps, definitely. So now they're supposed to be doing a trust game where Cindy is tying up Angela and blindfolding her. And I would never want to do this with somebody I didn't know. Like they're just going to lead you through the woods. No. I love little turtles like this, though. I used to have a turtle that was that small. TJ, you say, so only one of the privileged kids isn't white? A bit unbalanced, I'd say. Yeah, thrill me is also a good line, Russell. I think they've got some t-shirts with that on there. So we're fast approaching the flagpole scene, because Angel's had enough of Cindy doing this stuff to her. So Cindy's complaining, how much? How long are we gonna do this? My feet hurt. So Angela's asking her all these things. Are you a cheerleader? Do you take drugs? Are you a virgin? And she says no to or no or yes in all the wrong places. Or doesn't everybody when she asks her, does she do drugs? So she's going to be drawing Cindy up the flagpole here. This is a great death. Um, One of the favorites in this. Um, and of course, she's screaming and saying, why are you doing this to me? And she says, because you're a drug taker and a nasty, snotty bigot. And all of a sudden, then sarcastically, she says, plus you're real nice, just before she lets go of this rope. There we go. Bam. Big old blood splat there. Plus, you get to see the after effects of the brain and the skull and all that up close in this work print version. Super Batman Nerdy say the poster of Night of the Demons used to scare the shit out of me when I was little. That is a great poster, though. I did meet, speaking of Night of the Demons, I did meet Amelia Kincaid a few years back, and she was just so sweet. So if you ever get a chance to meet Amelia Kincaid, who played Angela in Night of the Demons, definitely go up and meet her because she's a really sweet person. Um, I agree, John. Her character deserved this death. In my opinion, best of the series. It's this or the outhouse death in two. Yeah, I really I put over the outhouse death scene as well. TJ says, so cheerleader is worse than bigot. John, you say, Angela and Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night are birds of a feather. Yep, pretty much. Now Angela just needs to say naughty. Yep, there she's, Lily's fixing a steak. And later on, she's going to want Bobby and Maria, aka Angela, to go and be tied up together and have to coordinate their hand movements and all that in order to catch enough fish. And Angela wants to know, well, what happened to the steak you were fixing? She says, that was for me. I'm allergic to fish. Really horrible head counselor, is all I can say. So she's making Angela take the trash. And she also said, because she tells Lily, she can't tell her I killed her. She said she wasn't feeling good. She's resting in one of the cabins, and so she says, "Be a dear and go get her, and give me some more bug spray. And by the way, take this big old nasty bag of trash back to the head camp." Yay, Blissful, you were victorious with the meatballs. Russell, you said Class of 1984 is a Canadian classic with a young Michael J. Fox, but was credited without the J. Exactly. Yeah, I do remember that. TJ, you said, yeah, but Billy wanted to have sex. LOL. Super Batman nerd. Hey, Camper, have you been naughty? That would be cool. Best Christopher Walken film. Oh, God, that's hard, but I would have to say, in my case, it's The Dead Zone. Him playing Johnny Smith. So Angela's gonna, remember back a year ago when she was here at camp and she was a counselor and she was Angela. She wasn't playing, taking over somebody else's identity. And this is where her memories are a little askew because she looks prettier. She's got obviously got makeup on there and all that when it's showing the flashbacks in her mind. And everybody loves Angela. Allie doesn't hate her and all that. So this kind of really shows you how messed up Angela is. So obviously, this stuff was like extra stuff that was filmed during part two. Um, and you can see the ribbon she's got is a lot larger than what she actually got. And Allie keeps putting her hand on her shoulder as they're singing the Happy Camper song. Yes, TJ, Angela remembers wrong. Goes to show how nutball she was. And that kind of goes with what you were saying last night during part two, TJ, about how things in Angela's mind could have been like, she could have been seeing things all distorted. Listen says, Super Batman nerd, how did you know that was one of my pickup lines? TJ, you said I was just going to type that, Data. Yeah, I beat you to it this time, TJ. And those people that were just clapping for stuff must have been extras that we don't even remember seeing in Sleepaway Camp 2. Guys, I'm going to step away for a second. I have to run to the latrine myself, and I'll be right back. TJ, you said that's a lot of trash for them being there one night. Yeah, it's probably all Lily's trash. Blissful always says that when I step away unsupervised. Well, I trust you guys and gals. Funny thing I noticed, and I thought it was funny. At this point in time, I'm not going to worry about it. But sometime after I did the stream last night, or the watch along rather, I lost 3 subscribers. So I was like, hey, I thought about it for half a second. I was like, hey, did I lose 3 people because of what I said at the end of that stream last night? Or did they really hate Sleepaway Camp too? Or what's the deal here? But yeah, I'm not going to get all broken up over it. I mean, people come and people go. So there was a scene missing right there. But I guess it all works out in the end, um, because you've got this extra footage in here. So this is kind of cringy too because Bobby, it, he, they're fishing and she's just kind of asking him general questions. I think she's trying to get a feel. Is this a good guy? Is this a guy that I'm not gonna? Is he gonna be a guy I can get behind and not have to kill? And he starts out okay, but then he starts saying, "I think you're nice," and then he's like, "Can I tell you something else?" And she's like, "Okay." And he says, being tied up turns me on, especially next to somebody like you. And then he just tries to attack her. And she has to slap him. I don't know where he gets that idea. Her type always does, wants it. What in the hell? Where did that come from? So, um, Blissful, you say you'll get 4 more soon. Keep positive. Yeah, well, I've noticed it tends to fluctuate, and I think the only reason I notice it is because I haven't got 1,000 or so subscribers, which I may never, and that's certainly okay with me. Um, but I've heard people like Garrett say as they get more and more subscribers, they don't even notice like 1 or 2 people going away, or a couple of people being added or something like that. And I think sometimes too, I've noticed, I think YouTube might mess up because it seems like they take away some subscribers and then I get 3 or 4 more back or something. It's like, I don't know what goes on there. So here's where Angela is telling Riff that basically her and Bobby caught the fish. He needs to clean them. It's only fair that you clean them. Um, oh God, Wes. So those people that unsub found out you were married to Steve, I bet. I doubt it. Or I doubt that's what the reason was. Russell, you say mine are King of New York at close range with Sean Penn and his brother, Crispin Glover, uh, even Evil Ed from Fright Night, uh, Deer Hunter, Homeboy, and the Mickey O'Rourke movie. Now, if you're talking about Christopher Walken, Russell, he didn't play Evil Ed in Fright Night. That was shoot. Help me out here, guys. That was a whole different actor. TJ will probably be able to tell me. I'm just totally Stephen Jeffries. Evil Ed from Friday Night with Stephen Jeffries. TJ. TJ says, Wes, stop hitting on Dana. Uh, yeah, Super Batman Nerd says, no Batman Returns, Russell. So I don't know what's going on. Like, it seems like I don't know if y'all can notice it, but it seems to be sort of jerky again. I don't know if, I'm not sure if it's my internet seems to be fine. So I don't know what it is. Again, I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's StreamYard. I don't know if I'm just seeing it on my end. It looks like I'm just like somebody's on drugs or something, and I'm like jittering around and stuff on the camera. Or maybe I'm just seeing it. Maybe you guys aren't seeing it at all. Blissel says, no one choose the remake of the Stepford Wives. Yeah, I forgot about that, Blissel. TJ says, F that remake. See, look at this shit. Like, Maria, or I mean, Marsha totally leads him on. Jeez, man. The age of safe sex there, she's got, the condom. To which he answers, I'm moving to Ohio. So, okay, wait a second here. Is Lily eating fish there? She said she was allergic to fish. So, was that a lie just to, so she could have some steak? TJ, you said, by the way, the Barbie movie has a bit of a Stepford Wives reference, I've heard. I'm definitely not paying to see that movie. Little says, don't use the B word, TJ. So now Lily, or Angela's telling Lily she wants to do a trust game with her. So she doesn't have her hands tied behind her back, but she does have her blindfolded. And we all know by this point in time, because we saw what happened to Cindy, we know this is a bad idea. Okay. Or bad for Lily, that is. So she's just pushed Lily into a big hole filled with trash bags. How'd they have that much trash? TJ was talking about one bag of trash, but there's like, how many bags of trash is in that hole? So is she going to bury Lily all the way, or what's she going to do here? Let's see. She's been eating too much food, TJ. She can't get up. Russell, the Terrifier franchise, I like the first Terrifier, but I thought Terrifier 2 was overkill. And I don't know. I don't know what I think about 3 and 4. Dirk, who was in here earlier, I'm not sure if Dirk's still in here, said that he talked to the director and he said, basically, you ain't seen nothing yet. So I think they're going to keep going in the extreme direction with the Terrifier movies. So Lily's just about to lose her head courtesy of a lawnmower operated by Angela. This is one of my favorite scenes too. Because by this time you want Lily to shut the hell up, okay? And this is a great way to make her shut up too. There we go. Got a more, as Joe Bob would say, slime guapola coming out of that lawnmower there. So really, she's dispatching people pretty quickly now. Excuse me. TJ, you say, hopefully the movies don't get longer. 2 hours should be the capper on the Terrifier flicks. I don't even think they should be 2 hours, honestly. Thank you, Blissful. Russell, you say more gore, that makes them greater. Normally, I think gore has its place, and I have seen my fair share of gore films. But I don't know. There's people that love it. I mean, Dirk's one of them, one of many. That Terrifier 2 just wasn't my cup of tea. The first Terrifier was just right for me as far as gore and creepiness and all that stuff. You love long films? Long films do have their place. However, if something is not a mini series, I don't think it needs to be traditionally for a regular run of the mill horror film. I personally don't like them any longer than an hour 40, hour 45 at most. Bobby lost his arms, and in this extended version, you get to see the arms kind of being pulled along behind the Jeep, and not that this movie's slow or anything, but I do feel like things kind of kick into high gear during this last part of the film, and she starts to dispatch these people pretty quickly. Riff's got him a little lamp there and everything. So Riff likes rap music. Okay, so Angela's throwing a tape in here, and this is the Angela rap. I think that's actually what it's called. That's right, TJ. You say, one less idiot in politics. Angela doesn't know that they're born 50 at a time. LOL. Rosie, you say, actually, it's not the gore, but how they did it. No, I'm not saying that they weren't creative with all that. I'll just bring up one scene from Terrifier 2 that I thought went way overboard. And that was where, you thought he killed this one girl, then she's tied to the bed, and then he's basically peeling her skin off, and then he puts salt and stuff on her too. It's like, no, this is too much. It's not really gross. It's just too much. Why can't she do, I mean, they could have showed him peeling a little skin off. They could have showed him scalping her or whatever, maybe cutting an arm off or something. But they just kept going with that. And I just thought it was needless. But again, to each his own or her own. If you like that stuff, you like it. And I'm not putting anybody down for liking that. I'm just saying it wasn't my cup of tea. But there were certainly many people that did enjoy it. So now Angela, has dispatched the rest of that group. the second group. And so she's made her way to Barney's group. Okay. So Barney is still oblivious that this is Angela Baker. Yeah, I'm wondering. I guess she would have TJ. You say so. Angela's going to kill Marcia if the cop didn't go with her. Marcia just kissing a dude was enough, I guess. But I think she really wanted Barney to go with them because I think she really wants to get rid of Barney. So I'm assuming Angela fakes this foot injury. Sorry, guys and gals, my voice. I guess I've talked too long the last couple of nights. Um, and due to allergies and other stuff, my voice just kind of cracks and goes in and out. It's been doing that for a few weeks. I hate to say it, but what is that face that Marsha's making at Angela? She's making this face like licking her lips and stuff like that. I never noticed that before. So now she's telling Barney that Herman and Lily are terrible counselors, that Herman uh, has sex with some of the other girls, and that Lily is lazy and she sits around eating steak all day, and then she admits that Herman didn't tell her to come and be in this group and to switch with Marcia. And Barney says, I understand, but it's just for one more night. You're going to have to go back to Herman, and we'll all be together tomorrow night. So Angela tells them that Lily is sitting out there on her butt. And she says it's not a pretty sight, but Barney says, go, you can go look, but try not to laugh in her face too much. All right. So here's Headless Lily here with bugs crawling all over where the head was there. And Marcia starts screaming, and Barney's going to take a look. Angela says, every time I go to camp, someone loses her head. And literally, if you think about it, part one, Paul lost his head. Part two, Sean lost his head. And part three, Lily loses her head. So now Barney's had an epiphany or whatever. He's figured out that this is Angela. Dum da da dum. And she's saying, you look just like your son when you get angry. I hate small places too, Russell. You say Devil and the Canadian Horror Cube are freaky movies. I don't think I've seen either one of those. I've heard of Cube. So Angela's going to kill Barney a real simple way here. This is kind of like I guess, a more traditional kill, not a really gory kill. But again, he's a damn cop and he just stands there and lets her shoot him. Oh, goodness. Something's making me sneeze. I mean, the aftermath of that shooting's a little bloodier. Got about 9 minutes left in the movie, guys and gals. Oh, gotcha. I'm starting to remember that one, Russell. I don't think I've seen it though. I just know of it. So Angela is chasing Marcia with the Jeep. And basically, Marcia has nowhere to go at this point. And Angela's telling her, we're going to have so much fun. So meanwhile, Greg and Tony and Anita are still back at the campsite. And they're still waiting for Barney and Angela, I guess, to come back because they're thinking, Marcia's going with Herman's group. Well, Angela shows back up and she said, we're going to, Barney wants us to play a trust game. Russell, you say watching the DVD right now? So, I don't know. I think this is pretty dumb of these three characters to allow her. Sure, she said that Barney wanted them to play a trust game, but I'm sorry, I ain't believing nobody. So she got them all tied up and she says, oh, there's Barney. Oh, no, that's not him. Is that him? She's got a knife in her hand and she's like, oh, here he is, and cuts a rope. There comes, that's like a typical, like a Friday the 13th shot there. Now Angela says, time to play this game here. So she's telling them Marcia is in one of the cabins. They have so long to find her. If they don't find her within the amount of time, she'll kill them. If they hurt her, she'll kill them. And if they try to run away, she will kill them. So they don't get moving, and so she's going to slice open Greg's face here. Super Batman Nerd, you say, yeah, Paul, that monologue got him dead. Sorry, I missed that message earlier. That's right, Super Batman Nerd. Yeah, like people can't look up and see a dead body. So now they're aggressively trying to find Marcia, but instead they're finding all the other dead people. So there's Marcia, but it ain't gonna be that easy. And no, Anita and Greg just got killed. But thankfully, Tony was in the middle, so he didn't get killed. And I don't know if Angela would have let him go or not, but this is kind of stupid move that Marcia does here in just a second, because Angela's basically telling them, um, how to get out of camp and like that, where there's a phone and all that, and she basically seems like she's going to let him go. And she says she has a crush on Tony, but you guys make a nice couple. And as my aunt always says, there's other fish in the sea. And it's as if she's just going to, leave. And she must have hurt her foot for real within the movie just a little bit, because she is limping. So Marcia very stupidly is, just let her go, Marcia. But no, she got a fight with her. So Angela stabbed her in the leg, and then Marcia's chopping at her with that axe. Now she's stabbing her a bunch of times. And Angela says, try to help somebody. And this is what happens. But it looks like she might be dead there, but I got a funny feeling about this. Okay. So here is the big thing where I said this makes me just not like that Marcia character. And Tony is just like, tells her he loves her, and he'll move to Ohio and everything's gonna be okay. They'll get married. And see that look she gives him? That is the most bitchy look. And she says, I kind of have a boyfriend. It just makes you want to smack her. But you can come visit me. Bullshit on that. They both have funny looks on their faces. Then it goes to an ambulance pulling out. We find out that Angela's in there. It's like, damn, how can she still be alive? She's not supernatural or anything like that. And the cops saying, she doesn't deserve to live. She's a maniac and all this stuff. And, the ambulance, the EMT, he basically says it wouldn't be hard to do. Super Batman there, you say, damn, she wants a side meat. So he gets stabbed in the chest with a needle, and that guy gets it in the eye. And then the ambulance driver wants to know, hey, what's going on back there? And Angela answers, just taking care of business. So here's a question I have for everybody. Does Angela live, or does she die after this? Or And this goes on a little bit extra. The original ending is she says, just taking care of business, and then it goes to credits. Um, which I don't think this work print version is going to really have credits other than they're thinking Michael A. Simpson, John Kliza from SleepawayCampFilms.com. But that was, I don't know how many of you guys and gals were watching the work print version or how many of you watched the regular version. Now, of course, this is going into the regular version, which I probably could. Just fast forward this to the credits. And I'll just let it run out to the credits here. And oh, Russell, I love that movie too. I actually remember me and my cousin Heather, when that movie came out, we actually went to see Up Close and Personal, and the film broke or something. So they said, hey, you can see any other film that's playing, and your tickets will be good for that. So we looked at the movies that were out at that time, and Primal Fear sounded good. So thankfully, I'm glad. I'm not saying Up Close and Personal wasn't a good film, but I am so happy that that ended up happening because we got to see the great Primal Fear. Yeah, I love the twist at the end of that one too, Russell. So I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this watch along for Sleepaway Camp 3. Of course, like I say, next weekend will be the first weekend in August. So I will be doing Salem's Lot Part 1 on Saturday and Salem's Lot Part 2 on Sunday. Monday, we got another edition of Camp Cronenberg coming up. Tuesday, I'm planning on doing the non-horror adaptations of Stephen King. Wednesday, TJ and I will be doing the first 10 episodes of the second season of Friday the 13th, the series. Not sure about Thursday. Friday, I might do a surprise watch along for, not watch along, I keep wanting to say watch along, a surprise stream for Friday if I get off early enough. And then, like I said, Saturday and Sunday will be the Salem's Lot watch along. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Super Batman Nerd. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. And speaking of, the music, we had the song Methods of Madness, Killer Elite, Voices in the Night, Wild Eyes, the Happy Camper song, lyrics by Michael Hitchcock, Angelus Rap, Sleepaway. And that, I really wish somebody would do like Waxwork Records, or somebody would do a vinyl for these films. Russell, you saying the score with Robert De Niro where he played a handicapped worker. I don't think I've seen that one. That's another one I've heard of, Russell, but I haven't actually watched that one. So we have officially reached the end of another watch along. Again, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed that tonight. And I'll probably stay on here till around 9:30ish. It's now 9:26 p.m. here Eastern time in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, and then I'm probably going to get off of here for the night, try to brush up on some more Cronenberg films for tomorrow night. And yeah, that's probably going to be all she wrote for me tonight once I do that. Well, shoot. There we go. Unplugging that Blu-ray drive there. There, my voice is cracking again. Thank you, Blissful. You say awesome stream, Dana. And Blissful's always very, she talks very highly of the chat, as I try to do as well. She says, chat, you were great. And I second that, because there was a lot of lively conversation going on tonight, both about this film and about other things, which I heartily encourage. You don't always have to stick to the movie. Even when I have people live on the stream, we don't 100% stick to the movie either. You watching Pride and Glory, Russell? I don't think I've seen that one either. So, if anybody has any suggestions for upcoming streams that they'd like to see me do, or reviews of movies they'd like to see me do, I'll tell you, in connection with that, I'm thinking of coming up with some extra things for my streams, where you may have noticed that some people do this thing where if people give them, and I don't want to seem like I'm begging for money, because I'm not, but I'm shortly going to be putting something on my channel where if you'd like to see me review a certain movie, it doesn't have to be horror. It can be comedy or drama or whatever. And you want to, throw a few bucks my way to help, with overhead costs and all that. I would be, it's not going to be too expensive. I mean, it probably won't be more than a few bucks to ask me to review something. And I will be glad to do so. But that's shortly going to be added to the stream, or to the channel rather. Oh, and also I remembered something I can do for Thursday. I can, how last week I almost forgot about being on John's Horror Roundtable, and I was planning on doing my first official episode of Seductive Poison: The Resurgence. So I guess I'll do that this week. So you guys and gals can look forward to that on Thursday. Well, I'm glad, Russell, you enjoyed your first time here. You're welcome back anytime. You said the great John Voight is in Pride and Glory, and I love John Voight. I think he's a great actor. It's about bad and good cops. There you go. I like movies like that. So it is officially 9:30, guys and gals, here in good old Louisville, Kentucky. And so, with all of that being said, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. You guys have a good night, and I will see you next time.